Hello everyone. Now we are going to start third chapter of the Geography Standard 7, that is tides. So as we all know about the tides, waves, right? In the ocean, in the sea, we are finding the tides. So the reason behind the tides, why the tides occurs and when the tides occurs, that all the things about the tides we will learn in that chapter. So the most important part in the tides, there are two forces are there, gravitational force and centrifugal force. So let's learn first what is gravitational force and what is centrifugal force. So as you can see the two figures there on the board, both plates are rotating, right? And in one plate what is happening, that the things on that plates are outside, throwing outside, right? The force is going outside, and in the another situation to the center, the things are coming to the center of that circular plate. So in one the force is going away from the center, and in the second force is going towards the center. So in which diagram you can see that force is going away from the center, that is known as centrifugal force. And in which diagram you can see the force is coming towards the center, that is gravitational force. So regarding to the earth, when we will talk about the earth, both forces can apply on the earth, centrifugal force also and the gravitational force also. But in case of the centrifugal force, suppose only the centrifugal force is on the earth there, what will happen? That we all, with all us, everything will throw away in the space, right, from the earth, because we cannot stay on the earth. What we see, that centrifugal force throwing away from the center, the things away from the center, so we can throw in the space, right? But how we can stay on the earth? With the help of gravitational force, right? The gravitational force which have the earth, because of that gravitational force we can stay on the earth. So from that what we can conclude? We conclude that gravitational force of the earth is greater than centrifugal force of the earth, right? And that is why only who have the more force, they have the more power there, and that is why only we can stable on the earth, we cannot throw in the space there. So that is all about the centrifugal force and the gravitational force. Now let's talk about the tides. So let's start to the tides. So in the first only we will see the factors affecting for the tides, right? Why the tides occur, which are the factors behind the tides. So first factor is the gravitational pull of the sun, the moon and the earth. Obviously the sun, the moon and the earth, all the three planets have their gravitational pull, own gravitational pull, and that forces attract the tides, and that is the reason behind the tides. Then second factor is revolution of the earth and the moon. As we all know that also, that earth is continuously revolves around the sun and moon is revolves around the earth. That continuous revolution is also the main factors behind the tides. And the last one, centrifugal force. As we all know that with the rotation, with the revolution, earth rotates around itself also, right? And while rotating around itself, it's create the centrifugal force, right? And as we learn, as I told you already, what is mean by centrifugal force? When the material is thrown away from the center, right? And that is again because of rotation of the earth, right? And that is most important factor for the generation of tides. Okay, so tides, as we all know, the distance of the sun and the moon from the earth. We know that moon is more closer than the sun. Sun is very far away from the earth, but compared to that, moon is closest to the earth, and that is why we all know who is closer, their pull attract more, and that is why the moon attract more to the earth. That means the gravitational pull of the earth, gravitational pull of the moon will affect more on the earth, right, rather than the sun. Gravitational pull of the sun also affect, but gravitational pull of the moon affects more to the earth. So when the high tides occurs on 0 degree meridian, right, we will learn that how the high tides and low tides occurs there. But when the high tides occur on the 0 degree meridian, at the same time high tides occurs on the 180 degree meridian, right, and at that both meridian the same tides occur. If the high tide occur on 0 degree meridian, at the 180 degree meridian, two high tides occurs there. And what is the reason behind that? Again, the centrifugal force is the reason behind that. And at that same time, the right angle, that means at the 90 degree meridian, the low tides will occur, and exactly opposite side of that, that means 270 degree meridian, there will be also a low tides there, right? That means the high tide, low tide and low tide. So that are the changes which continuously occurs on the respective meridian. 180 degree and 0 degree, same tides will occur at both places, and 90 degree and 270 degree, same tides will occur at that places. Okay, so now we will see the types of tides. There are two main types of tides, and that is spring tides and neap tide. We will learn what is that tide later, but now we all know that every day the sunrise time, sunset time is changing. In that way only, the tides timings are also changed every day, day by day. It is not same at every day, right? And the level of the tides also changes every day. Generally, the highest high tides, right, that is occurs on the full moon day and the new moon day. We will see the reason again, but just remember that highest high tides are occurs on the full moon day and new moon day, and on the first and third quarter the tides are minimum in the highest tide there. That's it. So now we will going to learn the spring tides and the neap tide. What is meant by spring tides? What is meant by neap tide? So one by one we will. Our next topic is effect of the tides. Obviously, if something is happening, if something is occurring, there are some effects are there, right? Either they are negative or positive. We can say the advantages and disadvantages. So due to the high tides, it helps for the fishing. Obviously, we can see that at the time of high tides, the water level rises up, right, on the coast. So the fishes are coming in the creepy region, in the narrow regions, and that helps for the fishing there. So it is very easy to catch the fish during the high tide. Then it cleans the coast there. As I told you already that at the time of high tide, the water is rising there, coming on the coast, and with that, when that water goes back, that took the dirt also with the waves, and that's why coast are cleaning it by the high tides. Then as in the time of high tide, the water level rises up, and if the water level is very low from the coast and we have to remove the ships, so it is very difficult. So the shippers are waiting for the high tide. When the high tides are there, water level rise up, and it is very easy to take out the ship on the coast for the repair, for the change, for any other purpose there. And we can use the tidal force there, right, for generation of electricity of the high tide. Then there are some negative effect also, disadvantages we can say that, because many people doesn't know about the timing of the tide, and that causes the accident, right? The swimmer and many other people who are trying to go in the sea and swim there, so they may lost their lives in the sea there because of the high tides. So that are the effect of the tides. Next topic is the waves. So what is mean by wave? Take a plate, fill the water in that and blow the air, and same things we are doing while drinking the tea or the milk there, right? And what we are observing there, while blowing the air on that water, on that milk or that tea, the ripples are generated, right, with the help of that air, right, with the force of that air. In the same way, in the sea also, with the help of the air, by the force of air, the ripples are generated, right, of the water, of the ocean water, and that is known as the waves. So let's see about the structure of the waves. So you can observe, or maybe you observe already, that with the help of winds, the water is pushed upward and downward. So that rise up region of the waves is called as crest, and that depressed region of the wave is called as trough. Again, the distance between that crest and trough, we can say A, and that is called as amplitude, and the distance between two consecutive crest is called as wavelength. So that is about the wavelength, the structure of the waves, right? Water get upward and downward because of the air, because of the wind. Then the distance between the upward region, the upward part is called as crest, the downward depressed region is called as trough. The distance between crest and trough is called as amplitude, and the distance between two consecutive crest is called as wavelength. As we observe on the coast, the water is coming on the coast, right? But if you place something on the coast there, then you will observe that that thing will not move towards the coast. It will just go upward and downward. And what is mean by that? That is mean by, that the waves are also not coming on the coast. What is moving? Moving is energy only, right? And that is the sometimes we can say sometimes earthquake and the volcanic eruption occur in the ocean, in the sea. At that time, in that situation, water get more destructive, and it is called like the tsunami there, right? Before some years ago, maybe it is in the 2014, there was a tsunami. That was the effect of the earthquake or the volcanic eruption which is occur under the sea, in the land of the ocean there, right? So that's it from the chapter, and that is tides. So I hope you understand, you enjoyed the lecture there. So thank you for today. Bye bye.